brief homily. Let the passion sink in on your own, whatever, and however it speaks to you this time and this year. But I do want to say a few things. I've been giving a commentary over this past Lent, as most of you know, on Elizabeth Johnson's book, Creation and the Cross. She points out at the beginning that one of the many nefarious consequences that St. Anselm's theory about substitutionary atonement has done, has one of the great nefarious consequences of it, has traumatized our Christian hearts and imaginations, is violence. I mean, the idea that God would need a violent sacrifice, a bloody sacrifice of his only begotten Son in order to love us again, to have his offended majesty appeased, is loathsome. A violent God? Who could ever love a God like that? How could we ever even have believed such a thing? One of the consequences is that we're violent. If God is violent, well, why not we? Why not? Especially in the name of God. Why not? And throughout history, that's what we did. Conquistadores, Inquisition. We really need a change. If Christianity is going to mean something life-giving in the millennium ahead, if there is a millennium ahead, and we don't destroy ourselves, perhaps in the name of some God. So if we need to look at, the mystery of the cross is central to Christianity, but we have to understand it. I'll develop this more in my sermon on Good Friday, but it's especially, God being in solidarity, God in Christ being in solidarity with us in our sin and suffering. But if we get away from the idea that God required or needed that violent act, and we discover that God is not violent, well then who is? We are. We are the violent ones. And that's what we have to assume and take on. That's what we should see when we see the cross. The result of our violence. Ours, not God's. We see the result of what happens. We'd rather kill God than actually listen to a teaching that threatens us and our egotism and our arrogance. That's what happens to God. That's what happens when God comes to our world. We kill him. It's what we do to one another. We kill and maim and destroy one another. We destroyed Christ. As we kill and destroy one another, Christ is in solidarity with that suffering that we inflict on one another. The least of these, the threat. It's especially about the destruction and the evil and the violence that's done in the name of the state, as it was in Jesus' case. The violence and destruction that's done in the name of religion and religious institutions, as we see in Jesus' case, should make us very suspicious of belonging to or invoking governmental or religious power, as we have all through the centuries, and as others we all continue to do. Very suspicious, because all of that quickly turns violent, as it did with Jesus on the cross. He came along to threaten its power and its influence. He hung out with the wrong people. He didn't keep the rules. Religion and government hate them, and so we destroy it. He's coming to bring us a broader heart, a more inclusive teaching, to see as God sees. And how did we treat it? We killed it. So he's always going to be the outsider, the one who challenges the egotism and the superiority. So whom are we killing now? What's the violence? Where is the violence being instigated, propagated now? Immigrants? Gays? Blacks? Fill in the blank. They're the ones on the cross. They're Jesus. They're the ones we're killing now. God in Christ is in solidarity with all of that. Whose side are we on? Are we in solidarity with all that in Christ? Or are we the ones continuing to inflict the violence and crucify our God?